welcome to the Man United show. We are live. And I'm joined by, I was joined by Nathan, but apparently he wants to do a special entrance. He doesn't want a normal entrance like everyone else. He wants a grand entrance. But I'm going to introduce my special guest tonight. It's Lauren Page. How you doing, Lauren?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No worries, no worries. And, of course, my co-host, and the timing was perfection. It's Nathan Ellen. How you doing, Nathan?
Doing great. Blood pressure's up and down, but yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right today.
all right. And there's already people in the comments section.
Love it.
Kate is a regular. Ollie Girl Trafford's in here. We've got some new names. Danielle, United Army Doc. I'm guessing you brought them along, Lauren.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you very
yeah.
much for joining us tonight. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and smash that like. All right. Okay, it couldn't be a United pod, if we didn't talk about last night's victory. 3-2, last-minute drama. It had everything. And we're going to get onto the comments afterwards. But, Lauren, how was you feeling during that game?
First off, I think everyone was feeling the same, pretty deflated, disappointed. It was kind of... We weren't looking like we had any ideas in us. It was a hard watch, really. But second half, I don't think anyone, when we came out to the second half, thought we'd be feeling how we were feeling at the end of that game.
Mm-hmm.
But in true United fashion, they give us grey hairs through the game, but we get that win at the end. So it was a great feeling by the end. And
he didn't care how it came. Just in the end, it was just pure joy.
Yeah, just get the goals and get us on top.
Sometimes they're the best. Those last-minute winners, they feel the best. Nathan, you'd just like to get it over and done with, wouldn't you?
You know what? It was great. It was great. It was exciting. Even though we went down 2-0. It was exciting football, and it's a good night to enjoy. It wasn't like a boring bore fest. How it's been, earlier on in the season when you're moving it slowly. We were moving it. We were working. We were working yesterday to try and get the win, and you could see the boys really, really wanted it. And that's what I loved about it yesterday. Even though there's a lot to work on, there was positives there that, that they are looking like, the intensity's there. And Rashford has brought that change. Rashford has pushed the bar up in terms of intensity, another notch, what we need. We need that running behind. None of the other boys can do that. So it's going to open up a new dimension for us.
So speaking from a player's point of view, if a player that you've got in your team, like, of the stature of Rashford, when he comes back, is there a buzz around the team? Do you feel that confidence again? You've got he's back.
Yeah, we all know what we're missing when he's not playing. Yeah. So then where everyone's like, hurry up and get back, hurry up. That's what they'll be like. Hurry up and get back in the side, lad, because we need that running in behind.
Yeah.
And he comes in straight away, bang, 2 goals, 2 games. That's what you need. Yeah. And he could have had 5, 6 by now already. Just imagine when he gets sharp, how he's going to be. He's already looking sharp now. But imagine once he's on point, like Salah's on point. Like, I'm telling you, he can get to that. And we've seen it enough times. And then it will open up things for the other boys. They won't have to work so hard. Sancho will do his thing. Cristiano will do their thing. So, can't wait. Can't wait.
We'll get on to Rashford in a bit because I've added another subcategory and it's about Rashford, because I'm a big fan myself. Lauren, you must have heard Paul Scholes' comments. He said, essentially, I may be miserable and I can understand the excitement, but the first half put me off the second half. Did you slightly feel that way, or are you trying to ignore that first half?
I think you can't ignore the first half because that was how we were playing that first half. And as Scholes said as well, if you were playing against, say Liverpool at the weekend, then they're going to be beaten. They're going to be up 4-5 in the first half. So we can't overlook that because we could be in trouble if that's how we start on Sunday. So we can't let the second half paper over the cracks. We've still got to remember that we did go 2-0 down before half time, and it wasn't the greatest first half. We need to nip that in the bud and make sure we're coming out like we did the second half from the first whistle.
What did you see as the main issues in from the first and second goal? I mean, the marking wasn't great for the second header. I can't remember. I think it was Shaw who was trying to mark him, but it's a centre back on a left back trying to mark a centre back. What's going on with the organisation there?
I think we've had these problems for a while with set pieces and defending the set pieces. I think we got a coach in, didn't we, to try and help this, and
Ramsey, wasn't it? Was it Ramsey?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. And nothing seems to really have improved. I mean, the first goal, that was Lindelof. He was too weak. He should have really been kind of throwing himself into that, but he stayed quite far away. So for him, that was his fault. And I think as well, McTominay wasn't marking his man. So that is, I think our problem at the moment is keeping on the players we're supposed to be marking. I know we did the whole zonal marking as well last season. That didn't work. So we need to find out what is working, and we need to be working out who is right to be marking instead of just matching players up for positions. I think we need to be working out who's going to be best to defend each player.
But Nathan, this has been a problem that's been going on for a little while now. Surely they should be sort of locking this off and ironing out the creases.
You would have thought so, but when I used to play, you get the manager always looking at the team, going, "Listen, you're on him. You're big. You're on him. You're that size. You're on him. Nath, you're on this guy, or you beyond them. They'd mark up according to the team, the height. That's what you mark up according to, the most danger versus the most danger, the one who can cut out the most danger. You don't just go, sure, you go on him, that big guy there. And Maguire, you're big guy, you go on that little guy over there. It's just stupid. It doesn't make no sense. So again, it's a thing when it comes to defensive side of things. I don't know what they're playing at the minute. I just really don't understand how they can't look at this and just understand. I know we've got the topics coming up, so I'm not even going to mention anything until it comes to it. So let's just leave it at that. He should be knowing who to match up with. Simple as that.
But the second half, the way you came out of that second half, can this be the catalyst to turn your season? Can this be the starting point to take on Liverpool and really use that momentum going forward?
I personally think that this will give us confidence for the weekend, 100%. That second half will give us that boost that we needed. If we were coming off a defeat, if we played the whole game the way we did the first half, I think we could be really looking in trouble for Sunday. But I think whenever you win, and especially if you win the way we did with that, a 2-0 comeback, it is gonna inject a bit of confidence in the team, and they are going to be fired up for it. So I do think it definitely puts us in good stead for the weekend. But I know Scholes said, Klopp will be rubbing his hands together watching that first half. But he's then also going to have had to watch that second half and could see exactly how we can play. Exactly. So, I think we've got a good chance if we do play like the second half.
Nathan, can they use this? Will this help them, or will it be a case of this will help them into Sunday? But if they beat Liverpool Sunday, then we're talking serious turnaround this season.
What time's the kickoff?
4:30. Is it too far away?
It'll help them. It'll help them until 4:30. Yeah. When it gets to 4:30, when it gets to 4:30, lads, I'm telling you, we need to be on it, because if, like I say, I just think those two centre-back pairing, I don't see it being good enough for the big games. I don't see it. I know we can do the Fred and McTominay last season. We did well with that, but we had it's funny enough, Dan James was that extra work rate that you needed defensively, and because he has the pace going forward, that there worked in them kind of games, but we only got the Rashford, who really is that kind of crazy pace on the left. Sancho isn't going to do the same kind of madness that James will do. Funnily enough, we're missing James for this game. I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't. After everything you say, you can't be saying you're missing James. Do you think he was underrated then?
No, I think he did really well at certain things, and for the team that we are,
undervalued.
Yeah, in terms of the work rate and what he does to help the team not let goals in, I think definitely. But I think going forward, it's just the quality wasn't there. And that's the only thing that I didn't like about him. I thought he needed to have a few more tricks up his sleeve, and then he'd be a really good player. But he's just not going to cut that level that we're looking for. You know, we're looking for the skills and ability of Jadon Sancho that he's been doing for Dortmund, which he hasn't yet done for us. But at the same time, we're losing that defensive side, which we need, like we said, because we've got the certain players at the back. For me, I don't think Lindelof or Maguire is a top three team, a top three defense. I think Varane is. I think Bailly is when he's fit and sharp. But I just think the other two, it's going to mean we're going to always need to play the Fred and McTominay. And it means against Liverpool with Salah. Normally, Salah and Mane don't do much against us. You know that. I don't know if you realise this, but I
wouldn't even be thinking that right now.
No, but it happens. If we sit back and give them no space whatsoever and just sit right back and put Fred and McTominay there and just sit there and then try and counter them, we could come away with a victory because they have to find a different type of goal. We've done it before. We can do it again. And that's what I'm sure Ollie's going to go down that route of trying to do. I'd just like to see the different defence. That's all I'm saying. But it's not going to happen.
Well, what you are going to need is you're going to have your full strength team out. Another player that is probably undervalued by a lot of people, not just Man United fans, but in football in general, is Fred. I thought he had an excellent game last night, and he seems to have taken a knock. He's got a hamstring injury. We'll have to wait till later team news, but it looks like he could be having to go with Matic on Sunday. You've not heard about this, Nathan? Oh wow!
I forgot that he got injured.
Lauren, is that a worry for you, or did you think someone else can come in and take his spot, or do you need that sort of tenacity in midfield to break up play against Liverpool?
I think Fred did play really well last night, to be fair, and I think our only away loss has been without Fred, which is an interesting stat. But I don't know. I don't necessarily think Matic is too much of a bad idea either. If, like Nathan said, we want to kind of sit back, then, and Matic has played really well when he's been playing for us. So he's not a bad second option for Ollie. Yeah. And I think to be fair, against Liverpool, if we do want to sit back and go on the counter, I think Matic works because Matic can put in a few good balls as well, go a few crosses. Like he got the assist the other weekend or the other midweek. So I don't think it's necessarily a worry because I don't really think anyone worries if Fred's not in the team.
That's what I mean. Undervalued. I saw what he's doing last night. His tenacity, it puts people under pressure. It puts people under pressure.
I just think it's the inconsistency, though.
Yes, not the greatest of passes.
It's both, innit? You've got both worlds with him. Like you hate him and love him at the same time. And it's every player's got something wrong with him, like something really good with him and something wrong with him. So it's really hard, all three of them.
But one of the major ones, which everyone will be praying for, is Marcus Rashford.
He'll be fine.
They are saying we've had dead legs before. This is not like a play. Legs, this ain't like a playground dead leg. This ain't like a dead arm, Nathan. I'm sure you've had it. A proper dead leg.
A dead leg. Don't worry about that.
Where you can't walk. People
I got a story about that, by the way.
Go on, say your story about your dead leg. Go on.
Oh my god. So I'm playing for West Brom. Got to the Premiership, and we've got Chelsea coming up. And I'm with my friends in Manchester. And we go to a place to play football. And I'm playing, doing skills on everyone. And this guy comes in and I was like, and I felt sick. My mouth actually felt sick. It was that much pain. I was like, oh my God. Like everything slowed down. I was like, oh my days, I'm not going to be able to train no more. I actually went in the next day. I said, listen, I was just playing basketball with my son and he jumped up and kneed me. I can't train. I couldn't train all week. And I just made the bench for that game Sunday, Chelsea. I couldn't believe it. I had to lie. But yeah, it wasn't nice. I'm telling you, it's so much pain.
I was gone. is in the open.
I don't know what's worse though, that you then made it look like your kid had give you a dead leg.
I had to do something. I had to say something. I was like, I can't say I was playing football with my friends, on the 3G pitch. What am I gonna say? And I got Chelsea coming up, and I'm playing with my friends. Madness. Absolute madness.
That's why he was on the bench. He knew. He knew deep down inside.
It was funny, man. And then I come up against Robin trying to pace me. I was like, come on, let's have it. And I stopped him. I actually stopped him. I was so proud of myself.
That's when
you didn't rip me up. Oh, great. I was so happy. But yeah.
What a story. Love it. Love it. All right. Let's get on to the subjects. Harry Maguire. He was Captain Marvel last night with that second goal. But against Leicester, he was a bit off the pace. And he has flaws. Although he's a very, very good defender, he has flaws. With those flaws, Nathan, can you be a serious contender? And what are the flaws that you see?
To be fair, look, I always say I like him as a defender. He's a good defender when he's used in the right way. When you have people covering him, like, what do you call it? You got a blanket around him. He's good, and you don't let anyone get in behind. He's really good with everything in front of him. But if you try and leave him on his own, him and Lindelof, they're gonna get taken. Like, I'd love to play against Maguire and Lindelof, and that's not what you want to hear. Like, I don't want to. I'd love to play against anyone, but like, you've got a challenge. You're playing against Van Dijk. I had a challenge playing against Sylvain Distin. This guy's ridiculous. Like, but when you come up against certain defenders, you go, lovely. I'll play against you. I can't wait to rip you. That's what I'd feel like if I was playing them two boys, because they're too. One's a bit too slow, and the other one is just too easy to beat. And for me, we're looking to try and be Champions League and compete against the big boys. You need more, and I don't think he has more. And sometimes people say his performance just wasn't that good or something. I just think that's his level, and he's getting done because he's not good enough to stop that level of player. If you get what I mean. When you see Vardy and them boys coming up against him and spinning him and ripping him, that's because they got that intelligence and that little bit extra about him, and it's going to get hurt. How is he going to stop that? How is he ever going to stop that even at the top of his game? He can't stop pace because he's not quick. So it's just the way it is for me. I'm not killing him. I'm just recognizing where he is. And I don't think, unless you play two defensive in front of him, two defensive midfielders in front of him. Look at England. They do exact same thing. They need two in front of him to make it so he doesn't get exposed. We need two in front of him to make it so we don't get exposed. Same. And then you need a good defender with him.
How is it that John Terry was able to be a top class defender, win so many leagues and Champions Leagues with the lack of pace that he had, but able to read the game? Can Harry Maguire not develop that?
No, but you see, how many times this season I've seen him run past and on the halfway line, run past and like the guy's gone. He's gone. He's got jumping in challenges where you shouldn't. He's coming in and he's getting fooled to come in short, and the guy's spinning him and he's pulling back McGinn. So many times this has happened. That's not reading the game. John Terry reads the game. He reads that he's going to pull me in there to try and go in behind. So he drops off a bit. No, you're not doing that. You're not doing that to me. You'll never do me for pace because I'll be dropping off a few yards. He's quick. No chance. And then listen, you guys, help me. That's what he did with Chelsea. Chelsea had all the defensive help. That's why he did what he did. He had great players with him, and he made sure people didn't hurt him for what he knows his weaknesses are. For some reason, Maguire seems to think he can go up all high on the pitch sometimes. You can't. Because you're pace, don't go up high. Mm-hmm. If you get beat by someone who's really fast, okay, it happens sometimes, even to the best players. But seriously, he's not been playing well this season, all season. Like every game I've seen glaring problems. And it's only because he's obviously England's main guy. I think he's getting a blight a lot. But I don't, if Bailly comes in and has one game where he makes a mistake, everyone's killing him. Get out the team. Why not the same with Maguire? I just think last season I gave him his dues. He was our best defender. He was amazing last season. He was doing really, really well. He's on the top of his game. He wasn't making those mistakes. And that's when I said, you know what? He's very valuable to us right now. Mm-hmm. But when Bailly came in and played against Chelsea, I said, them two were the best. That was way better than him and Lindelof. Why didn't he stick with it? I don't know. You should play players on merit. Let them play when they're on fire. Let them play. That's all I say. Play the best player when they're fit.
Lauren, do you see a worry with Harry Maguire? And what do you think the best partnership is?
This season, I am seeing a worry with Maguire, but I think he's still not fit from his injury. I think he's been pulled back way too quickly. But his spatial awareness and his awareness for players around him just isn't good enough to be, especially on our set pieces. Mm-hmm. As Nathan said, he'll never see a player behind him because he's not got that awareness of other people. So, and he can't read where players are going to run. Yeah. And as a captain as well, you really should know everything about a game and should be able to read the game. And unfortunately, you can't. I think I struggle because I am a Lindelof fan. I think he can get a lot of stick when he doesn't necessarily deserve it. At the moment, it's a struggle to say who is the best partnership because personally for me, Bailly is either too rash and is a walking red card or he's very easily injured. So to say that he would be in the best partnership is quite hard because he's potentially not got the longevity of that partnership.
It's definitely a fair point, Nathan. A couple of times, Nathan, Bailly has had them games. He has made rash decisions and got sent off for. I mean, there was one, I think it was last season, where he got sent off where he was chasing up near the halfway line and he hacked someone down. It was like, what are you doing? I think he was up by 2 goals and he got sent off. These could be the reasons why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not going to play him because this is about trust. Solskjaer is under pressure all the time. Man United managers are under pressure all the time. You lose one game, you're under pressure. So how can he put his trust in Eric Bailly if he's going to go and do things like that?
So when he first came in, he played pretty much the whole season. I didn't see red cards all over the place. I saw a great defender, our best defender. The problem was after that, he kept getting injured and coming back, coming back. That's my problem with him. But since he's come back, since he was fit, he came back and he's been fit. He just wasn't selected. And then he's gone off to the Olympics, come back fit. He's gone off to international duty, still come back fit. So for me, if he's fit, I'm playing him until he's injured. If he got injured for long, obviously this was it. We was kind of getting to the end of our tether with him, where it's like, listen, you're injured again. We're going to have to sell you, mate, because you're too injured. And that's so true. And I was starting to think Tuan Zabi might have to come in here because, Bailly's just not doing it enough. But seriously, I don't even know how many red cards he's actually had for United. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't a lot because I don't remember him getting sent off loads of times. I've seen him make the odd rash mistake, but I'd take that over getting done over all the time, and actually trying to do the right things. That's the difference with, like with Lindelof. He's a good player and he's like a 7s all round. But you see, people will do him like someone turned him and got a great shot in. He doesn't look like a glaring mistake, but it's just that the level of ability to read it and then get in the way of the shot, that's just not there. And then the other striker, he gets him, rolls him easy, and he gets a clean shot on De Gea. That doesn't happen against the big boys. And that's my thing. We're Man United. We got to try and win Champions League games. We're going to come up against these amazing strikers. I don't see him being able to do one-on-one defending against any of these. I'm scared. Against Iheanacho, I'm scared. You can't be scared. Iheanacho. I'm not scared if Varane or Bailly's playing against Vardy, Iheanacho. Bailly just loves it. Bailly's like, come on then, let's race. But when it comes to them boys, I'm scared. It's that simple. And that's the way I know. In my mind, I can feel it. And they can feel it. And they can see in the strikers, they can also feel it. If you get what I mean.
Can Man United compete with the top teams with the partnership of Harry Maguire and Varane?
Depends who's in front of them. It depends if he's going to go with Fred and McTominay as well. If he's only going with one, not a chance. If he goes with two, maybe. But then we might not have enough going forward. So pick your poison.
Is Fred and McTominay the answer in that centre midfield?
It's hard because I really rate McTominay, but if Freddie's not next to him,
yeah,
he's a shell of a player.
I think you said that before, Nathan, as well.
I'm so confused by it. He has this confidence with him next to him, and I mean, if Fred, Fred hasn't always been a bad player, and he's not always been this player that we're kind of like, oh, Fred's on the pitch again. Last season, he had a really, really good run of games.
Yeah.
He's come through this season and we're struggling with him. But
it's true.
There's inconsistency from him. That's the
problem.
This is his
first good game. Yeah.
And it's hard, but I quite like Matic, but Matic can't do it every game. His legs aren't there anymore. He can't be playing in midweek and weekend.
I think your suggestion was that he plays the weekend, though, wasn't it, Nathan? Just on the Premier League games.
Yeah, I was thinking he should just get involved for these games. But, we just would need to go get that player in anyway. So it's just we haven't got the time yet. We can't do it yet unless we find a free transfer, which is probably not going to happen. So would you
be picking Van der Beek?
Not in this. I wouldn't play him in the defensive midfield. I'd play him in where McTominay is, because I think he's much better at making that connection with the midfield and the attack and defense. He's the one who moves it very quick and makes the ball tick until he sees an opening. Then he'll slot it. McTominay and Fred, they haven't got the ability to slot anything or play the wide ones. So that's where we get stuck. We get stuck because there are opportunities to get in behind the teams when they do come in and, try and make it tight and try and win it. That's where Herrera used to do it. He used to really beat that press. And that's what I see Van der Beek being able to do, but he just somehow doesn't want to play him. I don't get it.
There's got to be something going on in training.
I don't get it.
There has to be. I've never seen a player get shunned so much as Donny Van der Beek without reason. Like, there's always a reason. You always find out a couple of years down the line, something went on, someone said something, he overheard it. It's something ain't right.
It's crazy.
Why are United so inconsistent? I think you mentioned it there. Why are United so inconsistent? What is it that's missing?
We're not playing as a team.
Very true.
I don't. You watch us and we're disjointed on the pitch. There's no clear plan between players, and players aren't quite understanding where another's going to be and where to play that pass, who's going to be running where. These kind of nothing. It's a lot of individual games at the moment, and we're not working together properly. And I would 100% play Cavani. Yes.
He's a baller. But where would you play him then?
Who are you dropping?
Where would you play him first? That's the question.
I'd play him.
There's only one option.
I think he's in the box. He's got much better movement in that box than Ronaldo has. So therefore, you put Cavani slightly in front of Ronaldo.
Okay. So you play Ronaldo as well.
Ronaldo's still on the pitch. Because yesterday you could see there were so many times balls were getting put in the box.
Yeah.
Ronaldo wasn't there, or Ronaldo was the one doing it, putting the ball in the box where he should be.
Yeah.
But he's not, because he's having to do other work.
Yeah.
Therefore, if you have Cavani, who's the one that's making that movement into the box, you've got Ronaldo being the feeder, basically.
Right. So give me the team then. Give me your
I was just about to say, what's Lauren's
I'd like to
team?
know what that looks like, because I'm trying to understand is who's coming out. Like, you can't have Bruno coming out.
I've not thought that bit through yet. No.
on the spot. You're on the spot.
Because it's a struggle to work out who you're dropping, because the kind of our wingers, or do you play Ronaldo on the left wing? He was running like.
Rashford not playing?
Is it?
So tough, isn't it?
My Rashford opinions are they're in question this season.
Ooh, okay.
Whoa. We're getting
this season. He's only played 2 games and scored 2. Oh my god!
No, as in, I'm basically giving him a clean slate this season from last season.
Okay. Yeah, last season he was only the only help that we had while he was injured. By the way, he played injured the whole last year, and if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have got second, and we wouldn't have done what we did without him. Because the season before, you've seen how good he was.
I agree, his stats were great, and his goals and goal assists and goal contributions, but for say 87 minutes of the game, he was either offside. What? Yeah,
Is this a young striker learning his trade though? Is this a young striker learning his trade, or should he know all this by now?
How many seasons have you been in the first team now?
Quite a few now. Quite a few.
So.
Surely you're still.
I'm having him, mate. I'm having him. I think he's this far off world class.
This is going to be a debate. This one. This is going to be a serious. He's 23. He's 23. He's 24 at the end of the month. That's still very young in his career as a striker. He has got a lot to learn. A lot to learn.
You know what? There's this saying, There's this saying that I've been told that when a manager talks about a player that's like one way and the other, he says, "Listen, one day he can be a world beater, and the next day is a panel beater." So that's what you probably think.
What brutal! What manager said that?
Wait, all the managers got their things. Yeah, one day is a panel beater, one day is a world beater, next day is a panel beater.
My last manager was angry. So, wow, great line.
But yeah, he is kind of hot and cold like that at times. You can get frustrated with him, and you think, "What the hell's happened to you? You were just world class yesterday. What are you looking like that for today?" But yeah,
what does he need to become world class? Although, Lauren, I've not forgotten you've got to give us your predicted line. Oh, not your lineup as well.
I want that.
I'm not going to forget that. You've got Cavani and Ronaldo in there. Mm-hmm. Get the pen out.
Yeah, let's see that team. I'd love to see what you've done there with the balance.
Let's see how I'm going to work this out.
All right, Nathan, what does Rashford need to become world class? Because he's got the attributes, he's got the pace, he's got the finishing, he's got the skill. Like he can do it all. What does he need to do?
He needs more consistency with his goals to shots ratio. I think his choice of shot as well, choice of shooting at times, you're thinking, why are you choosing that choice? Too many times where he chooses the wrong, like yesterday, we got through and he's kind of like smashed it when it needs a delicacy dink over him. Like I know Scholes said it straight after, but I was there thinking, just put it in the top bin there, like a nice little guide in the top bin above the keeper, instead of going bang. Like you didn't need to smash it. Yeah, you didn't need to wrap it from that close and the ball's up there. So that I think if he can get into scoring much more goals from the chances, like goals to shots ratio needs to come down. He needs to be able to get that lower. And then he'll be firing. Because seriously, when he's on his game and he's running in behind, no one can catch him. That's number one. And he gets chances for fun. He'll get 4 or 5 chances a game. So if he starts getting into that Cristiano finishing, he'll be getting 2-3 goals a game. And and he scores off his own back as well. So like we called Moments FC, he's the king of Moments FC. He's the one who does it all for us. Without needing anything, he'll just do something. And that's what I love about him. He is unreal at times. I just want him to be unreal all the time. And that's the difference between, like you see like a Cristiano, you see a Lewandowski, you see the Robins of this world back in the day. They're unreal all the time. Like there isn't games where you think, you're rubbish.
Yeah, but like, because I feel like we do this with English players especially, because we see them every week. So we're seeing the growth of them. Whereas a lot of these teams, a lot of these other players, we hear about them once they're smashing it on a regular basis. But what age did Lewandowski smash the records that he was doing? What age did Thierry Henry? I know how old Thierry Henry is because I just pulled it up now.
But he came into it and killed it.
He was 24, 25. So
So now it's like now,
exactly. Are we looking at Rashford and expecting too much too soon, or is this part of his journey? Is this part of, in 2 years' time we're going to be like, do you know what? I don't know how we doubted him, because every time he gets in front of the goal, he drops his shoulder now, and no one can touch him.
I don't doubt him at all, me. I don't doubt him. I think he's coming along really well. He had a bad season last year because of his carrying like 3 problems in one. And United are playing crap as well on top of that, so it was really tough for me. I just think he's a big asset for us, and he will be better. He will continue to get better.
Just about consistency and decision making.
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Lauren, what was your issues with Rashford? Not issues; it's probably the wrong word. Like, you've not got issues with him, but like, what was your indecision with Rashford?
I think, firstly, the offside issue. I know I've had people say to me, you know, Chicharito was always offside because of his pace. You know, it was too quick. I said, but you're a footballer. You need to know the offside rule, and at the moment you don't, because you're constantly offside. There's so many great attacks, and he's offside 3 times a game, and it drove me crazy because we were on the break, and I think sometimes I found that he did look lazy. He wouldn't close players down enough, and wouldn't make the run he maybe would have the season before. I understand injury, but if you're on the pitch, you've got to try and
you know what,
a little bit more.
Lauren, you just reminded me of something that I was really frustrated with him about. Sometimes he gets the ball and he walks with it. That so annoys me.
Or tries to step over that doesn't need it.
He does it. Sometimes you think, you can't take on a man, can you? And then other times he just rips man apart. So there's too many times where me and my friends, we have arguments. He's like, he can't take no one on. I'm like, yes, he can. Yeah, you know he can't. Look at that. He's just trying to take. He can't take him on. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Today he did say no, he can't.
But what do you think that is? Do you think that's more of an instinctive thing when he's trying to take people on, or do you think when he slows down, he's got too much time to think and he's overthinking it? When do you think he's kind of fails with the taking on the player?
I think if he's got too much time to think about what he's got to do, that's when he struggles. When the ball just drops to his feet and he can just put his laces through it, it's brilliant. It's a bit of brilliance. But when he has to do that work and he's seeing what's in front of him and he's got to make that run, I think he does overthink it. He can take it too far when he should have shot earlier, or he'll then pass it when he should have shot. So I do think if he's got time to think, he does overthink it.
So call him Inzaghi then, yeah? Okay.
So what should he be doing, Nathan? What should he be doing? Advice from Marcus Rashford. What should Marcus Rashford be doing going forward to player? Because he needs to get that out of his mind.
Yeah, I think he can continue to watch his favourite players who play off the left and watch how they make things happen. You know, Robin used to do them things off the right. Yeah. You've got like people like what's his name? He was at Chelsea, now he's at Real Madrid. Hazard. So he was off the left and did different things. But you see, like they lure people in. They move everything slow, pop the ball, and when players come, then they move, and everything's quick. So when Rashford's on it, he's doing that. But then when he's not on it, it's like he's lost it all. It's like he's just forgotten everything. And that's what happens. It happened to me when I used to play pre-season and I was not fully sharp yet. I was like nothing. I was that panel beater. But the manager knew that I will be obviously on fire as soon as I get a few games in me. And I think that's Rashford. He needs games. And then he needs, I don't think it should be all on him. You know, like when we've been going through this transition, it's been all on him a lot of times. And then it's a lot more pressure to go and, perform. And it does take its toll on you as well. He's a young lad trying to grow and learn. At the same time, he's got so much responsibility on his hands as well. So
I think to a certain extent, when you're looking to be the top, you kind of want that responsibility, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Go on, Lauren. I don't want to say too much.
I think you do want the responsibility, but I do think Nathan's right that he took the responsibility very young. He got brought in very young, and he started off really well. So he's had that pressure on his shoulders. So he started so high, and the I forgot the word. The expectation of him was so high from the beginning. Anything less, people will question it, which is really, really hard. Like really hard on him, and that's a lot to take on someone's shoulders who's so young.
Yeah.
So I think he's been in it's a hard position for him.
It is, but surely the likes of bringing in Sancho, you've got Ronaldo there, which is why I think some of the pressure's been taken off of Sancho slightly, or the limelight, because I think if Ronaldo wasn't there, all eyes would be on Sancho, and they'll be ripping him to shreds right now. So surely those two signings will help him this season.
You know what? I'm going to say it now. Things will be different, sliding doors, isn't it? So if Cristiano doesn't arrive, Sancho plays more, and Greenwood plays up front. That is a fluid attack, So don't think that Sancho will be playing the way he's been playing, been put on the left, be taken off in the game when man gets sent off. Not anything really happened. Not that kind of pace and fluidity that you see. Obviously, Cristiano is quick, but we can see he's lost that pace, that little bit of extra, what do you call it now? He's lost that extra yard,
acceleration,
but also the ability to maintain it over a longer distance. Like he paced out the guy, then he lost his pace, he got knackered, and then he's fallen over and stuff. With that's Greenwood, he's keep going and score. Even though obviously Cristiano's obviously much better in terms of finishing. I don't even know, to be fair, he's a serious finisher as well. But in terms of all round, obviously Cristiano's up there as the best. So, but like I say, it could have been a hell of a different story if we had a different dynamic. And that's what's killing us now. Greenwood's on the right. He should actually be up front. And he should be fighting to stay up front. And Cristiano, listen, if you're not playing as good as Greenwood plays. If Greenwood's not playing as good as Cristiano plays. That's what's killing our balance,
Do you think that's the case, Lauren? Do you think there's any sort of worry about dropping a Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah, 100%. When I didn't watch the game because I was actually working, but I think when we were playing Young Boys, did he take Ronaldo off? And
right at the end,
and even then people were like slating, why is he taking him off, this, that, and the other, he can get you that goal, blah, blah, blah. It's like he's untouchable, and he's not. He's really not. If someone's not performing, they shouldn't be on the pitch. And I think, but let's not even think about if someone's performing or someone's underperforming. Think about just squad rotation. Keep that fitness. Just leave Ronaldo out for one game, put Greenwood up front. Just to keep fresh legs. If we're playing,
I would do that.
If we're playing cup games, Champions League, Premier League, our players are going to get tired. Therefore, we have such a dense attacking squad. We have the options to rotate the squad. So why don't we?
I think that's one thing that Alex Ferguson made clear. There's no one bigger than the manager. There's no one bigger than the club. So if you was to kick off about being taken off in any of his games, you probably wouldn't pay for next week, and you'll probably be on the transfer list. I mean, you saw the likes of Van Nistelrooy, Berbatov, all go. Louis Saha, we all thought that they were not untouchable, but they were in their peak form, and then they were gone. Beckham, they were gone. So I think Solskjaer needs to add an element of that fearlessness.
Pep would do it, wouldn't he? Pep's done it. He's done it with Aguero.
How long was Leroy Sané on the bench for Man City, uninjured, and he was one of their best players? One of their best players. He's always on the bench. He didn't care.
Yeah. You're damn right. You're damn right.
Lauren, what is this starting 11 with Ronaldo and Cavani in the team?
I've got it. I have it.
Okay, let's see.
So it's going to be kind of the normal De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Maguires, Shaw. Then I'm going McFred, Bruno, Ronaldo, Sancho or Greenwood on the right.
Or
and then,
there's no odds here.
Which one? Which one? Okay, if they're on top form,
Greenwood.
Okay,
Ronaldo and Cavani. So you've got the back four. You've got McFred.
Going with McFred in the middle. You're not going to play after all this. There's no Donny van der Beek.
Ronaldo's no
Donny.
No.
There's no.
Tell me, what has he done?
And there's no Pogba.
What has he done? What has Donny done?
No worries, but there's no Rashford or Pogba. Let's see this. Lovely.
Is Pogba going to stay? Is Pogba going to stay?
Yeah.
Great point.
It's up to you.
Great point. He's not staying.
Yeah.
He's not staying.
It's up to you.
It's a good point. You've got to move on.
I'm a Pogba fan. I am a big fan of Pogba.
But you don't play.
Realistically, are we going to see him stay? I just don't know.
But is he playing though while he's here? Or no, you don't play him. You're not going to put him in. McTominay gets over it.
McTominay, Pogba potentially.
Okay. So you got McTominay, Pogba, Fred, McTominay. Which one?
Huh?
Which one you going with?
Don't let Nathan talk you out of it. This is your team.
No.
This is your team.
McTominay. That's fine. You got Greenwood on the right. You got Bruno in the hole. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you got Cavani or Cristiano on the left, and then
Cristiano on the left.
Or Cristiano up front. Okay, so you got Cavani up front, Cristiano on the left,
Movement
Greenwood on the right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You think he's got the legs to still do it out there on the left?
Did you see on that second half? That guy was running like he was his first stint at Man United.
Okay.
No, he's still got it in him. He's definitely still got it in him.
Yeah, I think you brought it up earlier where you said Ronaldo doesn't stand in the middle. I think that's just part of his game. He's naturally a winger, so he's always going to drift out. So I can see why you would want to have someone in that position who is going to stay there, who's going to be more disciplined as a centre forward.
It's a good side.
Or if Cavani goes in January, which there is talk, whack Greenwood up front.
Do you think you can afford to lose Cavani with what he brings?
No.
I don't think you can. It's a different player to everyone there.
Mm-hmm.
Who else apart from Ronaldo is good in the air?
Cavani.
There we go. So if you lose Ronaldo, you've got no other option.
Cavani and Ronaldo are the two best headers and the best crazy poachers that you've got. Amazing up front, and that's what's going to be hard because I want to see Greenwood up top. I want to see the balance of the left and the right side. You know, I want to see Sancho playing the way he was playing for Dortmund. You know, and I want to see Rashford playing. Right. Exactly. And finally, we see him on the right for a little bit, and you start seeing him look a bit more comfortable and relaxed on it.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see more of. And I think he can do it. You can see he's starting to feel that little bit of jinking coming. I can't wait to see more of it.
No, I agree. I saw a few flashes, and that was that's confidence. You don't do when you're low on confidence. It's straight, no messing about. Move. It's pass, move. It's this. When you got a bit of confidence, you drop the shoulder, give it a bit of that. It's coming, just a bit of shimmy. Yeah, it's happened.
It's coming.
All right. Before we go, I've asked the comment section to give us some questions. Kate, that is not the kind of question that I was asking for. Kate was asking if Lauren could do her hair. That's I mean, that's not what I was going to get at, but it's a start, Kate. Thank you very much for that one. Paul coming with a serious question. Would you replace Shaw with Telles?
Absolutely not.
Roberto Carlos?
No.
What? No, Paul.
Honestly, I'd get rid of Telles tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
The only good thing he has done is improve Shaw.
Defensively, not good. Yeah,
but that's what you want.
Has improved Shaw.
No, but that's what you want. That's what you want. If Diallo was the third, what's his name? Dalot was a better right back, would he not improve Wan-Bissaka? If there was someone that could defend and cross the ball, would Wan-Bissaka not stay after training and do some crossing? Whipping it,
he can
sort out his body shape,
can't he? Why don't one of them teach the one to attack and the other one teach the other one to defend? And we got a defender there, amazing fullback. Yeah, Pinnock. That'd be amazing.
He knows he ain't getting no game time if he teaches Wan-Bissaka to cross. Not that he's getting.
Yeah, exactly. Out your feet, lad, and
Lauren,
wrap your foot round it.
Who is your all-time favourite United player?
Oh, that's a tough one. Tough.
It's two. Solskjaer and
There's a
Sheringham.
pattern.
What?
Oh.
Eric.
No, but I didn't really see him. This is from where my love came from.
Okay, I get you.
I remember
Sorry. I had to say it. I'm thinking.
Eric. Nathan's just trying to turn everyone's opinions. Just like, oh, what? You're going to have that in centre midfield? How about you have this one, yeah? Give me the pen. No, give me the pen. Let me write it for you.
You'll get used to me, Lauren. I'm sorry.
I can take it. It's all right.
So Sheringham or Solskjaer?
Yeah, my uncle used to show me like videos of them, like an old VHS, and I just grew up loving them, absolutely loving them.
Yeah, both class. Nathan, who's your favourite all-time Man United player?
You know what? I grew up watching Eric just take the mick out of everyone, and
he did.
King Eric. He was ridiculous, mate. He was the different. It's like we were all like had good players, but it felt like he was just like that Superman in a very good team, and then you just got this one guy who's just ridiculous, and he was the guy, man. I'm telling you, he dinked. I remember away at Chef U and the windy, and he dinked the keeper, and he just stood there like
Sunderland. It was Sunderland.
I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it.
I remember that.
Sunderland away, yeah, and he also scored against Chef U the same. But man, he was just amazing. I just loved him, and then he scored, and he's like that with remember the cast on his hand. And he scored that free kick. When I was growing up, just loving seeing
with the shirt with the laces in the. I mean,
yes.
And these are not practical shirts.
Everyone wore their shirt like that. Everyone, we all wore our shirts like that. It's unbelievable.
I used to give it that.
Even you used to give it. Yeah, but United supporter.
Because not being funny. Remember that advert with the Nike advert, au revoir. Everyone did that. Any kid that did a shot, they were like, au revoir, running up, boom.
Yeah, Cantona was the main man. I don't think many people are going to overtake what he did for United and how he managed to make everything happen.
He had everything. He had that persona as well that an elite player has now. That ego that you've got to have to be that upper echelon player. So
just don't get players like him anymore. You know, he was
gone,
hard. He was charismatic. He had the skill. He was literally the full package. And he was a very special player for us.
Football's changed these days, but still a great
is this what this pod's turned into? It's not like the good old days. Is that where we're at? Don't make them like that used to. All right. That is all we have time for. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Lauren.
No, it's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Anytime you want to come on, you're there. Well, thank you for, of course, my co-host Nathan and Hayden. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks. Good to know that. It's been one of the most fun times I've had so far. To be fair, on the Man United show. Thanks, Lauren.
All right. Do you know what? I usually go through every single person's name in the comment section, but there's so many tonight. I think this pod might go on for like another half hour. So,
oh my gosh,
there's loads. So I have to say thank you so much for the comment section for absolutely popping off tonight. Our shows are about the comment section, especially for the Man United show. So you've done yourselves proud there. Please smash that like. Please smash that subscribe. Go and follow Lauren on let everyone know where they can find you.
On my Twitter, it's at Lauren Page Souls. You get football, boxing, and F1 on there.
Okay. I've seen that. I've seen the boxing as well.
Who's your favourite F1 driver at the moment then?
It's going to be Lando Norris, but don't all come at me saying it's because I fancy him. It's not.
No, you walked into that one yourself, to be fair.
I get it all the time, but I can't watch F1 just because I fancy drivers when all they do is drive around in helmets and I can't see the faces anyway.
It's a fair point. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Peace out, stay safe, and wash your hands.